Ах, 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 ах. Здравствуйте. Где? Здравствуйте, здравствуйте, здравствуйте. Та-та-дам. Музыка играет. Геншин запускается. Такое чувство, будто там должно быть какое-то новое ивентовое событие. Посмотрим. Привет, Серд. Не, загрузка-то этих файлов у меня... Я это давно уже сделала. Что я занималась дендро-аккаунтом. Это регион Фонтейн для дендро-аккаунта. Это вообще... достаточно неплохо. Учитывая, сколько там гидрослаймов и воды в целом. Заарбузить я могу почти любого противника. Что очень удобно. Очень удобно, очень удобно, очень удобно. Как будто обновилось что-то, но вроде ничего нет, но... Не знаю, не знаю. Может быть, они что-нибудь пофиксили. К слову, я нашла те летающие кубы, которые нам вроде как демонстрировали, наверное, на этом... на стриме разработчиков, но не добавили. Наверное, они будут в следующем патче. Их видно. На них можно полюбоваться. Но не дойти. Привет, Little Devil. Так. К слову, рецептики. Давайте я начну. Давайте я начну так и так. Громкость в целом нормальная. У вас там что-нибудь слышно-то? Надеюсь, все будет в порядке. В 151 миллионе море? Ну, много. Что? Привет, Нера. Все нормально? Хорошо. Так, мне нужна третья линия. Идем по сюжету. Идем по сюжету. Я пыталась на дендро-аккаунте закрывать карту Фонтейны, зачищать. У меня там примерно по 20%, где-то типа здесь 20%, тут 23% было, тут в этом районе поменьше. А потом я вляпалась в квест где-то здесь, где-то в этой области. Мне лень было уходить. Докрутили до легендарки. Поздравляю. Привет, Крафт. Для Фонтейна яко идеальный вариант передвижения. Может быть. О, рыбная лавка. А что в рыбной лавке Фонтейна? О, более деловая мелюзина.
Also, please remember to buy the Steambird, though I don't read it myself. The destination of the current tour is Arenias. Points of interest worth visiting include the Fountain of Lucine and...
Кстати, вот тут вот дофига этих мандаринок. И штучек, по-моему, для этой... Для Линет. Вот, я про оружие говорила. Какое оружие в рыбной лавке? Фонтейна. Ничего особенно ценного? Что это такое? Что вот это такое? Хм. Я не совсем могу понять. Странный меч с восстановой за рыбу. Ну, по идее, надо коснуться статуи. Блин, вот красиво, на самом деле. Я когда бродила где-то вон там вот, мне это не Францию напоминает, а какие-то глубинки России. Такие леса, поля, какая-нибудь гора рядышком. Так, и не хотим. Привет, Никита. Я просто хотела подобрать пшеницу. Ладно, пойдем. Так, там есть задание с книжки. Что за задание с книжки? Что это такое? Маркота. У меня еще ничего не собрано. Какой кошмар. Мандаринки.
Take it easy. Gotcha.
Nice and spicy. Take flight.
Там же, по-моему, контур нажимаешь и ныряешь. Ну, по крайней мере, на компе. Зато я также теперь знаю, где розочки есть, потому что очень много розочек вот здесь вот. Вот здесь дофига роз, надо будет сюда потом сбегать однажды. За розами. Угу.
Busted. Whirling snow.
О, нет. Электрическая фигня.
Gotcha. Rise.
Ланечка теперь С2, поздравляю.
Quietly now. Take flight.
Эх, мне бы С1 выбить. Так, тут где-то должна быть золотая фигня.
Take it easy.
Золотая фигня, зачем мне запоминать названия? Блин, слишком много золотых фигей. Как вы будете определять, о чем я говорю?
Open sesame. Oh,
У меня ведь нету ключа. Типа, откуда бы у меня быть ключу? Надо смолу тратить. В пустыню не заглянули. Плохо. Сколько у меня еще будут лежать эти гемы? Кто кого думает выбивать из новых персов? Я не знаю, нужны ли мне они тут особо вообще. О, 40 минут всего. Типа, ладно, Ризли на каталистах. Возможно, Шарлотта на каталистах будет. Лини на лучниках. Из фонтейновских. Увеличиваю. Ух ты! Блин. Смузи. Где вы, смузи? Какой красивый смузи. Не велит? Я не знаю. Я очень сомневаюсь, что я буду его убивать, учитывая, что у нас на противоположной стороне будет Ризли. И мне для каталистов, очевидно, нужнее Крио, чем Гидра. Гидр-каталистов мне вполне хватает уже. Заучим этот рецепт. Вот коза не согласилась прийти, теперь я продаю ее цветы. Минутка чисто кулинарии. О, я последний. Последний. Чем здесь интересно? Мне падисары нужны, мне их жалко. Лазанья. Пускай побольше будет. Ну, пятизвездочный гидрокаталист это, по идее, не велит. То. О. Как все зужит. Так. Так. Мне нужно что-нибудь снаружи? Наверное. Ивент с напитками? Но он простенький был. Я хочу музыкальный ивент. О, декор готов. Я еще не все забрала. У меня там пара декоров должно было быть новых. Обидно. А больше ничего нету. Вдвойне обидно. Ну, Ризли, криокаталист. А не велит гидрокаталист. В чем вопрос? Так, на выход. На выход. У нас квест. Сюжет. Ивент с прятками. Кстати, кто там нам говорил про прятки? Так, тут-то все. Тьфу на собаку. Побежали. Ух ты, красивенький телепортик. Но нам не по пути. Куда нас, к слову, зовут? Ага. Угу. Ты будешь прыгать. Пылесосить. У нас круче, у нас целый новый регион. Так. Я чую тебя, Гидрокул. Я тебя чую. Ух ты, сундук. Ой. Знаете, эти гидрокулы как-то слишком легко спрятаны. Это чем-то напоминает Люэй или даже Манштадт. Я не против, но это подозрительно. Да, в Сумероне были намного сложнее спрятаны. С нефритового дворца такой вид на Фонтейн. С нефритового дворца видно Фонтейн. Блин, ежедневки. Так грустно. О, это водяная роза. Или кто она там? Кто ты? Дожди лотос. Чё? Не суть. Видно, весь Фонтейн видно. Ну, любуйся. Так. Пожалуйста, на дорожку. Ути, какая лампочка. Ой, посмотрите на него. Очаровательно. Гидр причастие по 30 на уровень. Но это чуть меньше, чем нужно было дендра печатей. Где-то нужно было всего 20... А, чуть больше, чем в Инадзуме, чуть меньше, чем в Сумеру. Тут розы растут. Еще одно место. Ну, в целом, да, говорили, что не искусственные в всяких садах растут. Может быть, на босса сейчас сходим. Он ведь тут рядышком. Да, он тут рядышком. Давайте на босса сходим, что ли. Я хотела смолу перекрафтить. Потом. Почему собачьих котиков до сих пор нельзя гладить? Так. Не. Я сейчас этих боссов забью и пойду дальше квест делать. Ля, какие фигуристы. Лепота. Если для линии нужен краб, то, скорее всего, они нужны для Линет. Я так подозреваю. Ну, скорее всего, да. Да. Логично. Ну что, пойдемте, прервем их. Великолепный танец. Блин, такие моменты я хочу делать аниматики с фигуристами, но я ни хрена не умею. Здрасте, можно я вас прерву? Вы супер красивы, блин. Серьезно? С кем надо поболтать? Давайте поболтаем. Угу. Угу. По-моему, ей нужно темно-синее. Я сейчас уточню. Я знаю, что ей нужна темно-синяя, я хочу уточнить название. Купили. Так, не говорите, что это надо будет каждый раз прокликивать. Или это только один раз? Сюжетку делаю. Но тут рядышком... Ух ты. А вот это было в трейлере. Не совсем то, что я хотела сделать. Вау. Интересно. Хотя... Не факт, что они мне будут нужны. Убили кого-то, смотря где. Здесь пока нет. Я их тупо застрелю легче. Но опять же, просто другую команду взять, и все будет прекрасно. Так себе. Шанс критического попадания. Крит урона, мастерство стихии. Уже неплохо. Опять же, нужна просто другая команда. Тебе пора прокачать чечу.
Two, breathe, 3, 4, and
1300. Это у меня сейчас баф какой-то? Или это реально ее собственное? Я сомневаюсь, что это ее собственное. Я думаю, это какой-то баф сейчас у меня идет на нее. Так, я куда-то не туда иду. Куда мне надо? Вот туда мне надо. Так, стоп, а с ними 2 раза надо драться? Давайте-ка тогда для полной картины, чтобы потом не возвращаться. Только надо команду пересобрать. Что я могу сделать? Кого я могу поставить? Я могу поставить Беннета. для дополнительного хила. Я могу взять Яо-Яо, чтобы они горели. Чем мне с тобой, дорогая моя? Ты где хп играешь? Ну, то есть, ну, все. Дэм. А, давайте ее. Пускай горят. Пущай горят. А, блин. Надо перезарядиться. А, я надеюсь, нас никуда не телепортнут. Куда мне, блин, надо? Мне надо туда.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
I guess if there are, kid.
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine.
Vache.
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
Мне нравится моська путешественника.
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Are you hearing things?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here.
Шизофрения.
It's customary for newlyweds to...
Lynette!
Lenny asked me to wait here for...
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you? Besides, it's the middle of the day.
I see.
Интересно,
I might be able to tell you
интересно.
something that could help explain the voice you heard. In fact,
Ну, какую легенду ты мне расскажешь на
I
этот раз?
suspect that what you heard is a result of your...
It's because of his sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would hearing a voice have to do with that?
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what?
Just answer me. When...
При сильных эмоциях.
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon...
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. Even the tears that fall to the ground will eventually gather here.
О первозданном море? И что такое первозданное море?
So, what did the voice say? If you were hearing their emotions, then Paimon wonders what happened.
Rather than worrying about them, we should worry about my brother first. Don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous just before a performance. So chatting with Lenny might help him relax.
Oh, right. That makes...
Нет, спасибо, спойлеров мне не надо. Сколько у нас милая Яо-Яо хилит? Всего по 1000? А чё так мало? Ну, как бы чаще, но мельче. Чё, эти таланты прокачанные? Я уж дальше. Дальше мне тебя нечем качать. Все те же кресты. П. Бонус вообще. Просто... Просто одно дело... Блин. Фонтейн — мой первый регион, который я своевременно прохожу сюжет. То есть я сюжетку Сумеру совсем недавно прошла вместе с вами. Я уверена, что я так или иначе попаду на какие-нибудь спойлеры, но когда у меня есть выбор, я не хочу их. Крит урон, между прочим. Ух ты, сколько у меня 5-звездочных артефактов-то. Надо переплавлять. Дофига? Откуда у меня столько? О, восстановление энергии. Неплохо. Фонтан активировал? Нет, я сейчас подерусь, и можно будет активировать. По-моему, все та же цифра. Ну, как бы, опять же, просто правильная команда, и все очень достаточно легко решается. Защита. Крио. Великолепно. Теперь мне нужно искать этих ребят. Эти под водой. Эти тоже, по сути, у берега под водой. Ламповые колокольчики, они... Я знаю, где они. Но они немножко не в той стороне. Так. Что там с фонтаном? Я не знаю, менять ли команду обратно. О! Здрасте. И вам всего доброго. Угу. У меня их всего 6. В общем, на будущее. Какие награды. 2 обычные крутки, корона. $50. Ну, как обычно. 50 на 30. Математика. Нет, то, что у меня они выращиваются, это да, но их особенно много как раз таки вот здесь вот. Где-то в этой области, там куча деревьев, там небольшая загадка с гидро-столбами, и там просто куча этих колокольчиков. Там под каждым деревом 3 куста растут, на каждом кусте по 3 штуки. Так, дайте-ка мне обратно. Ах, по росту стоит. А у кого-нибудь еще есть такая? Я сомневаюсь. Хотя, может быть, Венти. Но у меня нету Венти. А ты не паришь. А, ты паришь. О! У парящих персонажей нету вот этих маленьких лушудок. Кто у меня там был? У меня была Чича. Иди сюда. А апельсинки там тоже есть. У Лизы парящая анимация. Но я ее заметила на Нахиде. Давайте-ка в театр. Театр.
Traveler in Paimon, good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to... The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already
Я,
reserved
конечно,
your
не
seats,
теоретик.
and here are your tickets.
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Lenny.
Но на самом деле все просто... Они свои выступления строят очень легко и просто. Для правильного представления нужны люди в нужном месте в нужное время. Нужные люди в нужное место в нужное время. Странника встретили? Встретили. В театр привели? Привели. Время есть обосновано, потому что у него шоу. Все складывается.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go ahead, Lenny.
Блин, сложно доверять таким людям. Что у нас тут есть? Что-нибудь есть? Я могу сюда зайти. Ля какая. Я театр вспоминаю. Блин, темно так. Пока, Little Devil, возвращайся. Мы тебя ждем. К сожалению, я сейчас никого не беру. Кого это я там вижу? По-моему, это как раз-таки Невелит сидит. И здрасте. Нужные люди в нужное место в нужное время.
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down.
Ох уж этот взгляд.
Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. It's kind of awkward if we don't say anything. Oh, you little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Блин.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So let's talk, but, oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the...
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linney then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Teyvat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney.
Великолепно.
I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet?
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Ooh. Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No
Важная
offense taken.
птица.
Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat.
У него действительно вайбы Чунли.
Special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to. There's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Ох уж это отношение к Архонту.
So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic
По
show
сути, это
before.
тоже мультики. Сейчас, наверное, настоящем. О, мультики. Давайте.
Ooh, they're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye.
Они точно все это подстроили.
A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Hyman didn't seem to do anything. Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Hyman couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But Our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here.
Ну, как вам шоу? Кошмар. Интересно, интересно. Учитывая, что у нас там эта водяная клетка разбивалась и падала, что же произойдет в скором времени? Хотя вы наверняка могли... Сложно сохранять интригу, когда половина из вас это либо смотрела у других стримеров, либо проходила. Ну, давайте продолжать. Я не знаю, о чем особо говорить. Надеюсь, вам всем тоже это нравится. Да.
The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make...
Wow, how's he gonna do that? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin.
Выберут ГГ?
Let me see. Oh,
А, нет.
row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do.
Нельзя
Could you all
играться со
give me a
временем.
countdown?
Кто знает, если встретишь себя из прошлого.
60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh, Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59.
60, 59, 58.
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54, 53, 52? Huh? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy.
Oh, all right. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something. 40, 39, 38!
Mr. Lenny, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic.
Они эти точки телепортации используют.
For example, midair right above the audience.
Но психосто я не смотрела.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all.
Бум.
What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
25!
Может быть, они просто не слышат.
What's wrong, Mr. Lenny? I can still hear you.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here.
Never mind the decorations. There's
No, that's unacceptable. I want my...
19! 18! 17!
Нагнетают.
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such. 10 seconds and change is still plenty.
10!
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
What happened? Huh? Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix...
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
Здравствуйте, здравствуйте. Страсти накаляются.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely
Они все-таки кого-то прибили в кат-сцене. Наконец-то.
There are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearance.
The serial disappearance?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Lenny,
Ой,
is now
серьезно.
the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
Oh, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen. Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
That can't be right. How can Lenny do this? message the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that he... Well, I think it...
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the
Что если это
cover of a
была
magic
провокация со стороны Фатуи, чтобы вывести Архонта?
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Linney, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met. Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met.
Не хотите спойлеров раньше времени? Я никого не держу.
Our little duel ended in a draw.
Удачи, Серд.
But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better play?
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now... Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this...
Позовите Ян Фэнь, кто-нибудь, позвоните Ян Фэнь. Давайте позовем Сяо, он позовет Ян Фэнь, проведет ее для нас, и у нас будет великолепный адвокат. Серьезно, в чем проблема? Когда мы наконец-то сможем воспользоваться услугой Сяо? Сяо Emergency. Быстрый как ветер. Блин, музыка крутая.
The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been...
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot Outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to...
Блин, я хочу ее нарисовать. Почему я не умею рисовать людей? Я бы занялась каким-нибудь редизайном. Было бы прикольно. Было бы красиво.
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mystery's lair. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Серьезно? Позовите Венти. Он покажет Пайман, как делать настоящий фэншуй.
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
Действительно, хороший вкус.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me, but with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first.
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
Угу.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be in... 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured... But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then we should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the...
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here.
Интересненько.
Detective Paimon is on the case.
Ой, делать всякие квесты потом будет жутко интересно. Я уже наткнулась на один довольно прикольный квест.
Officer, how's the investigation going?
Надеюсь, мы скоро разберемся с
You
сюжетом.
must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any trace. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these
Сложно
areas.
просто доверять Линии или нет, учитывая тизер Фонтейна.
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys.
У меня такое чувство, будто они все это подстроили чисто для того, чтобы вывести Фурину. В смысле, что как-то отчасти привлечь ее внимание, или чтобы как раз таки, чтобы она была сосредоточена только на этом деле. Карликина там будет какую-то свою фигню творить.
Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know, anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves.
Что вы думаете, чатик?
Who knows? Maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
В журнале... журнал по делу! Этот, как его? Как это называется? Детектив? Согласно расследованию жандармов, фейерверк, запущенный незадолго до окончания представления, поджег веревки, на которых держался резервуар с водой. В результате резервуар упал, что привело к смерти Коуэлла. Линни действительно мог использовать реквизит в качестве орудия убийства, но зачем ему понадобилось убивать Коуэлла? И куда исчезла девушка из зрительного зала? Эти вопросы пока остаются без ответов. Информация о погибшем. Погибшего звали Коуэлл. Он был ассистентом Линни и пользовался большим доверием труппы. В его обязанности входила установка и проверка реквизита, а также взаимодействие с артистами на сцене для поддержания нужного настроения в зрительном зале. Ой, я буду их читать. У меня теперь есть дело, я буду их читать. Конечно, все уже все прошли. Это место пришелся удар. Мне кажется, внутри волшебного ящика он мог бы увернуться от падающего резервуара. Так, у нас есть там, там, там.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
Вот генератор. Вот я знала.
What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Lenny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
Что это? Ух ты, сколько всего.
What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? Well, we thought there might be a serious problem.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that
Ну, конечно же, он не был рандомным.
I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Lenny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Lenny reserved our seat.
Let you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Lenny.
Even though it's bad for Lenny's case?
Устройство, использующееся для выбора счастливчиков из числа зрителей в магическом шоу, не только после того, как жандармы провели расследование, выяснилось, что машина постоянно выдает одни и те же результаты. Очевидно, кто-то изменил ее настройки в недобрых целях. О, я буду читать. Я хорошо читаю. По-моему, ты. Да, ты.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
Подрезали ее.
Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler? Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold
В целом могли бы и
something
подрезать.
made with that kind of material in it. Wait, why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes.
Notes. Так. Особая веревка. Веревка для подвешивания резервуара с водой внезапно оборвалась, когда на сцене запускали фейерверки. Расследование показало, что вместе обрыва веревки было изготовлено из легко воспламеняющегося материала. Красивый журнальчик.
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troupe members are currently considered prime suspects. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontейna who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social
Блин, я
connections.
тоже хочу летать.
It seems that she had no
Неважно.
personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearance.
Путешественник такой грустный.
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Молодые девушки примерно одного возраста.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Нам неизвестны личности других девушек, поэтому я не могу выдвинуть события. Пропавшая по имени Холзи, известная художница, которая пришла посмотреть магическое шоу, чтобы снять напряжение от работы. Она не вовлечена в какую-либо вражду с представителем магической труппы Линни. Так. Нас куда-то туда посылают. А, есть еще. Из этого. Может быть, тут что-нибудь есть. Это самый обычный ящик. Как ему это удалось? Давайте заглянем вовнутрь, а? Уф. Так, у нас есть свидетель там. Это все в этой области. Это все в этой области. Тут надо подняться. Здрасте. Что за обновы на 4.0?
If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, all right?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Мы тут убийство расследуем.
Why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that it's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath. So no one paid much mind.
Да, давно было. Но это 4.0.
The thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank...
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true.
Нужно подумать о другой гипотезе.
Suppose I must reconsider.
Помимо сами произведения искусства, надо будет это нарисовать.
What was with that sound?
Странный звук во время представления. Во время фокуса с волшебными ящиками раздался отчетливый глухой звук, который слышали многие зрители, присутствующие в зале. Она само искусство. Так, нас куда-то туда тянут. Ой, это не то, что я хотела сделать. Only you. Окей. Молли.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Мне Молли нужна.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. I think someone...
Я не туда нажимаю. А, это все. Окей. А, я могу сюда выйти. Круто.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here!
О!
I'm keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Здрасте.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right.
Bodyguards.
You're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
У нее звездочки в глазах.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
Почему-то мне это напомнило представление команды R.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Demoiselle.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
Oh, no need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Представляете, сколько шапочек сворует Казуха?
If you say so.
Там у каждой мелюзины шапочка.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
Представление команды R.
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now.
Что с Пайман? Пайман детектив.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Пайман из детектив.
My
Я пытаюсь оценить ее как дизайнер, но я хреновый дизайнер. Я могла бы сказать, что это интересная игра с цветами холодного, синего, теплого, золотого. Хотя он такой странный, не совсем теплый, но все-таки такой золотой цвет и черный. Как будто как бы и траур, но при этом у нее достаточно и белого, и золотого. Тут золотой плащичек. Скоромыш крадется. Скоромыш тут уже не покрадется. Тут скорее ребенок дерется, чем скоромыш крадется. Эти коротенькие мафиози.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her. All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you...
Wait a minute! Did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Если свобода дарована Богом, является ли это свободой? Да? Из той же оперы. Правильно ли относиться к судебному процессу как к опере?
And why would that be? See, Silver and Maloose? I told you they'd be different.
Мы просто не Фонтейна.
I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script,
Мафия бессмертна, мафия вечна. Интересно, кто-нибудь сделает какой-нибудь телематик в стиле этого крестного отца? Или что-то в этом роде? Блин, я забыла мелодию крестного отца. Я не помню. Всем здравствуйте. Мы расследуем убийство.
Assistant? Sure. Or your companion, if you like.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental.
Я понимаю, что все, наверное, там половина популярных блогеров все прошло до меня, вы уже все видели. Я пыталась построить какую-то теорию по поводу того, почему похищают девушек, но поскольку неизвестны личности предыдущих похищенных, моя теория ничем не подкреплена. Те как будто что-то беспокоит. Серьезно. Это крестная мама? Ну, знаете, может быть, это титул. Если есть титул отец, почему не может быть и титул крестный отец? Сильвер. not sure I am good or I'm tempting lately trying good.
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
Poisson.
I
Poisson.
can see that. Maybe I should
Poisson.
try to learn some magic. If I can make things
Poisson.
disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
You need not worry about such things, demoiselle. That falls under my...
Oh.
О, господи, он заставляет этого старого человека прибирать за собой. Какой кошмар. Так. Что еще? Хотя, может быть, там... нам отметили, что вот так и есть. Здравствуйте, жандарм. Жандарм месье. Куда там похищали девушек? Ну, просто упомянули, что похищены это молодые девушки, и та девушка, которую похитили сейчас, она была художницей. Перед тем, как войти на этот зал, нам упоминали, что вся вот эта тема с Фонтейном, слезами, что слезы — это выражение сильных эмоций. Я подумала, что, может быть, похищали каких-нибудь, так сказать, вдохновительниц и... как сказать... людей творческих, которые могут вдохновить на сильные эмоции, но, блин, у меня нету никакой информации, чтобы хоть как-то что-то подтвердить, и звучит на самом деле не очень умно.
Because I was in charge of security near the... I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post.
Молодые таланты? Ну, во-первых, молодые таланты — это как бы могут быть и парни, похищали только девушек. Так что как бы не вяжется теория. Она буквально строится на воздухе, так что не слушайте меня. Так, входы и выходы в здание оперного театра. Во время шоу никто не покидал оперный театр, а после инцидента его могли покинуть только те, чьи личности были установлены жандармами. Наводит на не очень хорошие мысли, но... Давайте не забывать, что это все-таки по большей части детская игра. Самая серьезная травма, которая тут может быть, это травма от смерти. Ну что, расскажите нам о своих фокусах. Господи, что у меня с произношением? Позовите Сяо, чтобы он привел Ян Фэнни. Все будет просто великолепно.
I'm just doing my job. You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Oh.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Пойдемте.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
Там могла быть...
Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Там могла быть аудиозапись.
Weren't there
balloons and other decorations here?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Считаю, что это уже похищено.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting
Так
in the
себе
front row.
новости.
The back of the
Спасибо.
store was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Не очень обнадеживающе звучит. 3 ящика, еще один ящик.
Exactly.
Больше ящиков.
All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Кажется, они вдохновлялись матрешками.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place.
Вжух.
The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
So...
I see.
Итак,
So that's the purpose.
Precisely.
ящик
The inner
внутри
box
ящика.
would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with the audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the
да.
dark, and by the
О,
time she
привет,
walked
Кекс.
out, she would already be back on stage.
Колдовство запрещено вне Хогвартса, а технически отчасти это неправильный перевод, потому что запрещена магия на глазах у маглов. То есть нельзя колдовать при маглах. Потому что всякие Никто не приходит за магическими семьями, когда какой-нибудь ребенок там колдует.
Right. You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end.
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to...
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting.
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked. Wow. Every detail.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area.
Блин, теперь мне хочется пересмотреть.
The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Магический трюк. Линии подробно объяснил, как был задуман фокус. Внутри большого ящика был спрятан потайной ящик, куда и заходил человек из зрительного зала. Ящик со зрителем перемещался к сцене по тоннелю. Сам Линни по тому же тоннелю проходил к ящику в зрительном зале. В это время с публикой взаимодействовала Линнет, приодетая в костюм Линни, и ее ассистент. Что-то я в этом сомневаюсь. Ну да ладно. Устройство волшебного ящика на сцене. В волшебном ящике, стоящем на сцене, сзади было отделение, в котором пряталась Нинет, переодетая в одежду Лини. Чтобы появиться в конце фокуса, создать должное впечатление, что Лини может мгновенно перенести ящик на противоположной стороне. Устройство волшебного ящика в зрительном зале. Внутри волшебного ящика, расположенного в зрительном зале, был потайной ящик, который незаметно для публики спускался в тоннель и вместе со зрителем перемещался к сцене. Да, там были шарики на сцене уже. Что-то я сомневаюсь с моментом переодевания. Что ж, приятного ужина, Обливен. Что-то у меня сомнения. Стоп, что? Она может двигаться автоматически. Привет, Литудео. Пайман великолепно. Янфень самого Архонта засвин, поэтому она нам не нужна. Ваза. Сегодня, скорее всего, будет только сюжет. Просто я хочу сначала по максимуму пройти сюжет, чтобы потом с чистой совестью можно было ходить, зачищать карту и делать всякие побочные квесты. И вот их можно будет делать в коопе.
That can't be. The trolley moves along.
Let's note this.
Разбитая ваза. Осколки разбитой вазы найдены в боковой части тоннеля. Вся вода из нее вытекла. Судя по расстоянию, маловероятно, что ее прокинула тележка, предназначенная для перевозки волшебного ящика. Вероятнее всего, кто-то опрокинул. Кто-то, кто тут ходил. Так. Что еще? А, ты. Аю. Главное, чтобы к тому моменту не вышла обнова 4.1. У нас больше 2 недель. Еще пара стримов на сюжет. Я думаю, стрима, наверное, 3-4 будет. Потом можно будет чистить карту. Пайман с усами вкусно. Я не думаю, что усы натуральные, так что, наверное, это только портит ее вкус. Вкус, но не вид. Я думаю, он был кого-то нужен. Все запишем. Брошенный крюк на веревке. На полу лежит металлический крюк с привязанной к нему веревкой. Назначение неизвестно. Я хоть нормально читаю-то? Одежда.
These are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Только не говорите мне, что она растворилась.
Right. And do you really need to do that? Ugh. This is so confusing.
В тоннеле обнаружена одежда, принадлежащая пропавшей Хоузи. Как она там оказалась, неизвестно. Нискаро испытается, что ему сыну действительно хуже не станет. Так. Не та кнопка. Сыщики. Тим-Тим. Не знаю, надо поискать обзоры на фильм Тим-Тима. По-моему, он был неплохим. Но я как-то не слышала особенно хороших отзывов. Так, ты последний, да? И здесь в беспорядке свалены всевозможные реквизиты и костюмы. О! Вентиляция. Всегда есть вентиляция. Мы не пытаемся, мы едим. Бедные голодные дети. Вентиляционный люк. Но не всегда делают вентиляцию достаточно для человеческого роста. Привет, Нейс. Вентиляционный ход в туннеле. Размера вентиляционного хода в туннеле было едва достаточно для одного человека, поэтому забрать с собой пропавшую девушку было практически невозможно. А может, ей сказали, иди за нами. О, смотрите, как подходит-то по цвету. Блин, почему у тебя нету такой жестокий? В цвет. И глаз радует.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. It seems to me that there are several things that don't add up.
Кое-что явно не сходится.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in...
The plot
Сюжет запутывается.
Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the oratrice will
Нет
hear
Орликина и
statements from both
Сандрона.
sides.
Но Орликина нам поминали вообще-то. Нам ее упомянули. Но я сомневаюсь, что она будет в этом обновлении. Скорее всего, она будет только уже в 4.1. В сюжете.
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience. To put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This too
6
will be
часов
used by the
грузилась
oratrice
обнова.
as a reference. Then, finally, the oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the
Да у неё
will
чёрные
of
руки.
justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides?
У меня обновление грузилось, по-моему, почти 4 часа.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a
just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Если мы не можем пойти к кухне, то кухня пойдет к нам. Мы просто возьмем чайник и пригласим всех отобедать в нашем чайнике. Звучит как хороший план.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts too.
Фонтейна.
I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Действительно. Ей очень подходит чай со сладостями. Стоп, чё не... Что?
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some. Huh?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Снежная будет весить 1 терабайт. Я думаю, они тогда лишатся очень огромного количества игроков.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you
Silver
two.
Crude.
Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
Навия напоминает сервал.
Quite the interesting group.
Сервал. Сервал? Я так не думаю, нет. Мне нет. Какая-то фишка спина ди Песуа.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now.
Пироженки. С узорчиком. Смотрите, узорчик есть на пироженках. Розовый чай. Это... У нее розовые стены. И розовые тарелочки. И даже розовый чай. И даже розовый сахар.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout.
Интересно, она из благородной
Just the
семьи?
right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven.
Ладно, она любит чай, любит ли она вино?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly
Ризли
about
равно
the taste on a
пятизвездочный
sugar
Хейзе.
rush, would you?
Пятизвездочный Крио Хейзе.
As well. This is demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit. No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal, the magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly. Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
Исчезнувшая девушка и погибшие.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal and the
Пятизвездочный Крио Хейзе.
resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes,
Хрен
and
его
her
знает.
abduction.
Хрен его знает. Посмотрим.
Perhaps the criminal thought that since she
Посмотрим.
was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing
Я
the
хочу
same clothes.
заредизайнить персонажей для кроссовера, но я не умею рисовать людей. Что делать?
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third, but
Третье.
the only people left to consider are both technically victims.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, nor does she have any motive. The guards said that she has never had any dealings with the magic.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing, though, Navia. They smell great. They're nice and crisp and.
They are my specialty, after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3. Honest.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
Сладкое тем лучше. По сути, тоже вот эту Нави ее даже редизайнить не придется. Съела, не переживай. Ешь мои, я все равно такие не люблю.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by Mr. Loose. Set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh? What are you
making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course?
3 макарона. Спагетти. Какого было? Кейк. Чоколад. Спагетти. Кто поймет, тот поймет.
As you wish, demoiselle.
Мне все равно про молчание сказать. Яйца с сахаром дали здесь. Представляете эту сценку в кулинарной игре? Потенциал. Шаурма. Откуда мясо?
It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right, thanks for your help and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula.
Spina di Rosula.
It's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Так, возможность участия третьей стороны. Ни Коула, ни Холзи не было мотива для совершения преступления. Но после обсуждения этого вопроса с Нави стало ясно, что вероятность существования третьего лица, причастного к преступлению, также очень мала. Блин. Следующего дня.
It's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
К слову, я хотела посмотреть. Вау, сколько у меня уже. Дайте-ка... Я в прошлый раз забыла это сделать. Сейчас мы сделаем это. Блин, жаль. Во! Гидровижн. Без своего хозяина он выглядит пустым. Он не выглядит пустым. Да, он так не сияет, но он не серый, так что все прекрасно. Все великолепно. Так. Это 5 круток у меня, да? Да. То бишь 6. 6 круток уже неплохо. Линии, да, я видела. Я не смотрела видео про разбор того, почему линии хотят удалить. Так. О, 466 ачивок. Ага. У меня всего 70 тысяч опыта, блин, это так мало. Ланечку 50 на 50 с 11 крутки. Вау. А как-то я тебя не заметил. Ух ты. Красиво. Красиво. Сколько у меня круток откручено? 40? 5? 45? 7. Что? Нет, это обычно. Не пугайте меня так. 10, 20, 30, 40. 40 с небольшим. Суд. Так. Дайте посмотреть. Так. Куча новой информации. Мне не нравится, что мы их тут не всех нашли. Можно я еще раз туда сбегаю, а? Пожалуйста. Китайцы раз не Корея. Всем встать, суд идет.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up. And that was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated...
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Я хочу зачистить Фонтейн на дендро-аккаунте. Сейчас. Я хочу зачистить Фонтейн на дендро-аккаунте, потому что я не могу проходить сюжет, но зато я могу проходить всякие побочки, которые мне будет легче потом проходить здесь, чтобы накопить на лук. Лук от Лини. Кому я его дам? Либо Тигнари, либо Колей. Я пока точно не уверена, но у меня всего 2 лучника. Так что кому-нибудь да он пригодится.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
Я не знаю, просто опять же Тигнари можно собирать, как полагается, в мастерство стихий и использовать в каких-то конкретных ситуациях, например, против каких-то гидроврагов, электроврагов и так далее. То есть тогда, когда его мастерство стихий имеет смысл. Колей, с другой стороны, у него вроде нету каких-то особых сборок, по крайней мере, я не искала. Опять же, Колей, Тигнари. Тигнари, Колей. У меня несколько хороших луков 4-звездочных на мастерство стихий, у меня в целом есть на силу атаки. Но почему бы не попытаться? Можно будет потом гордиться и показывать.
And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Ли не мог его не услышать.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded.
Было прикольно, если бы можно было увидеть какую-то развилку сюжета.
Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
Это удар ниже пояса. То ли нет после. Я как-то пока не замечал.
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you
какие
can tell us
анимации перехода.
everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script
В самом
already
начале.
has holes in it.
Ну, я, наверное, как-то пропустила, когда читала или слушала. Я так отчасти, я отчасти слушаю, отчасти читаю. Плюс знание английского. Доказательства не носят, так...
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was
Вот откуда это пошло.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady first, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
Серьезно. Я уже достаточно типа... Почему не озвучивают мысли ГГ?
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
that's it, we might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Не велит подходить лучше на роль генерала Ханта. Я Нюку по этому поводу не смотрела. Не попадался он мне. Ваша честь, прошу слова.
Granted.
Серьезно? Ладно.
In that case, what is your request?
Привыкаешь, что в других регионах можно утонуть? Просто смотришь этот значок выносливости и понимаешь, что смерть неизбежна.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Рано судить, кто больше подходит на роль Ханта. Просто не велит нам... Не велит судья. Он профессиональный, спокойный Гидро Чунли. И пока, опять же, рано, поскольку рано, сложно сказать, с какой стати вообще Фурина как Архонт Справедливости. С какой стати? Ну, как бы поживем, увидим.
I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the... But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends.
Чулки.
That's why I didn't wish to flat
Это
out lie to
мода.
you, but chose to
Это
hide some
стиль.
details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
Где усы Пайман, но она отошла от роли детектива. Она теперь адвокат. Адвокат должен выглядеть серьезно, а не серьезно. Правда ли Натлан выйдет раньше? Ну, может быть.
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point.
А вот это он уже подлизывается.
You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still,
Ну, не знаю, у нас есть намного больше персонажей, подходящих под такое описание.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that.
Он актер. Он на сцене. Должен привлекать внимание.
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone, which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came.
Все равно первый регион сейчас, я знаю, что там будет капитана. Также может воскреснуть сеньора. Поэтому интерес растет.
On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
Теперь постоянно флешбеки с трейлера.
I swear, it was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon,
Надо придумать это.
we're gonna need a seriously watertight
Как это называется? Не линия действия. Как это называется? Там доказательство нас уже есть. Линию защиты. Надо выстроить линию защиты. Наш подопечный. Рассказ линии. Оказавшись в туннеле, линии через вентиляционный ход проник в подвальное помещение, где хранится ядро Аратрис. Он не видел, что в это время происходило в туннеле, а потому не слушал глухого звука. Голос в комнате с ядром Аратрис. Линия утверждает, что слушал таинственный голос в комнате, где находится ядро Аратрис, в подземной части оперного театра. Задумались насчет нумерации предвестников. Нахид сказал, что первые 3 предвестника по силе как архонты. Если капитан не самый сильный в Тейвате, то как? Если капитан самый сильный в Тейвате, то как он может занимать 4-е место? Я как бы тоже об этом думала, но опять же. Там прямо говорится, что он самый сильный. Ладно, пойдемте. Мне музыка нравится. Сколько она там хилит? 1800. Красиво. И музыка красивая. Все красиво. Красивая игра.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention.
Ну что ж, давайте послушаем.
let's revisit that scene from Linny's perspective.
Вы можете установить несостоятельные части свидетельств, основываясь на изложенных событиях другой стороны. Используйте полученные в ходе расследования происшествия доказательства и улики, чтобы опровергнуть несостоятельные звенья событий и заменить их новыми заключениями. Это как с той техникой снов. Ну, не снов, что они там были. Убедите аудиторию опровержениями, чтобы добиться большей поддержки вашей точки зрения. Отрез будет четко показывать такие изменения. А что будет, если мы все загубим? Когда вы найдете и опровергнете все несостоятельные звенья, выполните цикл опровержения, чтобы раскрыть истину. Батл.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound.
Он напал. Когда мимо проезжала тележка, он открыл ящик, и у нее свой случился, к которому слушали тот самый звук.
Finally, he used the vase to knock her out before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her.
Ударил ее вазой. Блин, красивые картинки, однако. Хороший комикс. Он снял с нее одежду.
At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before
Чем он их бил?
Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that
Чего
Cowell's
Линни
death would be
передал
ruled an accident.
находившийся без сознания ход своему сообщнику через волшебный ящик в зрительном зале. Волшебный ящик в зрительном зале, а затем задействовал свой реквизит, чтобы смерть Коула выглядела как несчастный случай. Я хреновый детектив, вы о чем вообще? Я люблю смотреть детективы, но я в них не вникаю.
You have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Чем он их вырубал? И звук был другой.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
Причем окружение будет восстановление последовательности действий и наблюдения Линни. Итак, что я могу сделать? Линни вошел в тоннель, когда начался обратный отсчет. Линни входит в тоннель. Здание оперного театра. Голос в комнате. Одежда девушки. Это не... Нет, он входит в тоннель. Неограниченное количество... Но это не прикольно. Именно поэтому он линейный.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Линни похищает Халзи. Линни оглушил Халзи вазой, а затем снял с нее одежду, чтобы ее не опознали. Но действительно Линни был в тот момент в тоннеле.
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Он увидел только вазу и платье.
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Фурину на съедение крабом.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent!
Mission completed. Урина в жертву океаниду. Пойман хороший адвокат. Сколько стоят ее услуги? Я думаю, ее услуги стоят шведского стола.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
In other
Пайман
words,
покраснел.
you believe that he knew nothing of...
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the...
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. But what proof do you... Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he... You're saying that he wasn't?
Так, стоп, что? Что? О чем они там говорили? Если Линни все время был в волшебном ящике, он не мог не слышать тот звук. Ага. Она не вовлечена. Ну так и что? Что является доказательством того, что Лини не было в тоннеле в момент совершения преступления. Ну, как бы странный звук.
That's right! Lenny
Что?
wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement. Via the same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic.
Ну и логика.
Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Дворецкий. Выберите иконки шестерни в меню, чтобы смотреть соответствующие вопросы по делу. Правильность заключения может проверить, выбрав ответы и заполнив все шестеренки. В случае ошибки придется брать вновь из оставшихся вариантов. Логическую цепочку. Так, расследование палаты выявило, что веревка утверждающая. Это воздействие фейерверков. Если исключить, что преступление совершил Лини, подменить реквизит мог только кто-то из членов группы. Ее слышно, ну, хорошее это эхо. Тем более она говорит достаточно громко. Особая конструкция зала. Так. А разве нам не говорили, что это маловероятно? Кто тот единственный человек, у которого был шанс совершить преступление? Говорили, что это маловероятно.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Но
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? Could there have been a third?
она сама себя похитила?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
И сам... Что?
That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator.
Как мы можем понять, что Лини не мог участвовать в преступлении?
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Lenny as well.
Как доказать, что в тоннеле действительно произошел конфликт? Разбитая ваза? Так это звук?
No one entered or left the opera house. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Кто сейчас главный подозреваемый? Куда подевался Halsey?
The sound we heard may have come. It would have been tough for both people to.
Угу. Ну,
The
звук.
sound we heard may have come from a clash between the... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Но это не сходится.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
И не было в тоннеле ровно минуту. За это время Коул мог вывести Халзи из ящика. И все эти назад.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
Она сама себе похитила. Ну, ей такие сказали, ну, лезь туда.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from...
Она растворилась.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
Надо было все-таки оставить Фурину. Я переделаю потом превьюшку, обратно поставлю. Предыдущую.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Фурина плохая капибара.
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used...
Yes.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope... How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here. Must we really? I should think magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very...
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't
Какой
make sense.
экспрессивный ты человек, оказывается. Как хорошо, что я не занимаюсь обычными реакциями.
Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased.
Ножку на коленочку. Тоже мне со вкусом.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. People can become water. Does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains?
Mystery.
And if wait just a minute, could that mean you two with me, quick?
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results.
Какая палочка. Интересно, вы будете ей махаться в своем геймплее?
Let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey
Чат заинтригован.
Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines.
Сколько людей из чата не знают, что происходит?
Hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that
Блин, музыка крутая.
seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Вода первозданного моря. Жандармы обнаружили в вещах Койла жидкость, по-видимому, способную растворять уроженцев Фонтейна. Кто сейчас главный подозреваемый? Кауэлл. Кауэлл. Какой реквизит использовал убийца, чтобы контролировать время растворения? Ну, отсчет.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Ну, чтобы контролировать время растворения.
The water from the primordial sea should already have... The water from the primordial sea should... The water from the primordial sea...
Вот. Какой реквизит использовал убийца, чтобы спрятать механизм устройства?
I remember there was something else within...
Контролировать время растворения.
Was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she? Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
Спусковым механизмом, которого использовался преступник.
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Что? Это Фонтейн? Да, это Фонтейн. Мы расследуем убийство.
rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank.
Механизм убийства. Ну, обратный отсчет.
I remember there was something else within the... Lynette was in the magic box.
Какой ритуал использует убийцу, чтобы контролировать время растворения?
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Почему не обратный отсчет?
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire... I remember there was something else within the...
Ну не горение же.
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick.
Ну хрень какая. Каким боком это контролирует время растворения? Он ее связал этим крюком.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage.
А чё это желание проходить сюжет упало?
Something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of it.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Нет. А вот этого милого мальчика в черно-малиновом обвинили в убийстве. Из-за того, что оно произошло во время его представления.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What? That can't be.
Подстава. Но разве это не может быть просто подстава?
Counterattack only to come back and does this not clear all doubt, my dear citizens, my loyal audience? Allow me to...
О, батл. Давайте.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice,
Все лавры
Lenny
себе.
desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime.
Чича убийцы только баннеров. И нервов игроков.
Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon.
Ну далеко тут сейчас нельзя.
Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, am I right, Mr. Lenny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now, and I believe this is indeed the finale.
А, вот где придет Чайлд.
Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move?
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate? And I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Lenny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection.
Ну что вы, маэстро.
It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry, Spina di Rasula, but as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
Щелк.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So
А как же платье?
people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowell. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Lenny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so that's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief.
Все NPC на одно лицо.
Mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Battle. Ну шо. Линия входит в тоннель. Но она ведь не исчезает. Они подрались. Каким боком? Каким боком эти доказательства должны что-то опровергнуть? Они не дрались. Но она переоделась и спряталась.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one...
Действительно произошел конфликт. Но ваза разбилась.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up.
Чича наказана.
Smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowl. Seems this won't produce a
Как бы отреагировала Холзи? Но она бы никак не отреагировала.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Ту-ду-ду-дун.
It's Ace Detective time on time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all. Hearing the commotion, Cowl leapt into the tunnel, only to discover he did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way, mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowl out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Пум.
that she
Вот
would have to
теперь
go
уже
through guard
перечислил.
inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thing.
Поразительная техника.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole... Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings
Кажется, он
are
уже
concluded.
устал от ее дерьма. Ждем тарталетку.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow, look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from
Мне
the
даже
primordial
попкорнчик
sea
есть
into
для
a
этого
balloon
дела.
during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case at least can be handed over to the oratories to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
О, вот что сейчас будет.
Unless you want to earn yourself a
Были
one-way
спойлеры.
ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders.
Давайте
We were
понаблюдаем.
supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to...
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act.
Я читаю.
All present, please submit to
Я
inspection
наблюдаю.
immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon!
Oh.
Please wait.
Lenny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Lenny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past.
Трагичная
Back when our
предыстория.
parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say good, but I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social...
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
С черными руками.
She'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed, but she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the
Этой истории даже можно объяснить их глаза Бога.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find—
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from—
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you.
Я просто представляю ближайшие несколько месяцев, когда начинают появляться фанфики с травмами и стеклом.
If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you.
Bye, Linny.
О, такой долгий 3 часа. Я потом изменю превьюшку.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navian?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to— Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the—
Ah. I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you.
Я не знаю, о чем говорить. Я
It's
читаю.
like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring
Заметно,
forth,
что
and a
путешественник
reflection
уже
in the
устал и
murk to
не
become
бросается
clearer.
на помощь с каждой проблемой.
Sorry about that. I'm a bit— Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our—
Huh? Do we really need to get that—
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer?
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
Yeah. Это кто? Во. Я развивала какую-то теорию по поводу символов этих наций. Так, дайте-ка мне заглянуть в мою эту. К слову. Три часа. Было круто. А, стойте, давайте-ка это посмотрим, что нам надо. Что тут есть интересного? Стойкость миллилитров. Так, я хотела пересобирать елань. Мне также, наверное, нужны наборы под тебя. У тебя есть только сияние Вуруташи. Хотя у нее все остальное на хп. Какие мне наборы тогда нужны? Либо попробовать собрать ее. Блин, я не помню. Урон от взрыва стихии.
I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
Где ты? Шанс критического попадания на хп. Сила атаки. Есть восстановление энергии, силы атаки. И сила атаки, еще немножко КП. Если я заберу набор у Моны и прокачаю его, он прокачается прилично, то есть могу что-нибудь собрать даже. Тогда кому?
I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
Ну, как бы стойкость миллилитров ведь никогда не помешает. У меня вон их сколько. Почему так много процентов в защите? Бонус лечения. Шанс критического попадания. ПХП, восстановление силы атаки. На самом деле неплохой перо. 5 защиты. Бонус селекта урона. Сила атаки. Бонус гео урона. Не, это неплохой перо. Ты в целом тоже неплохой перо. ХП, крит шанс, сила атаки. ХП, сила атаки, шанс крита. Не, это хорошие штуки. Вот тебя мне не жалко. Тебя в целом тоже. Шанс крита и восстановление энергии. Кучу силы атаки и шанс. Еще немножко защиты. Мастерство стихии. Ну, вот это вот так себе уже. Ой, сколько у меня заблоченных-то. Да, мне столько. Мастерство стихии, сила атаки, ХП. Шанс крита, защита. Защита и ХП. На ХП. Ну, тут как бы восстановление энергии в целом неплохо. Опять же, защита. Крит шанс и защита. Крит шанс и защита. Крит урона, сила атаки. Хорошая. Крит шанс. Крит шанс. ХП и сила атаки. Я лучше это. Бонус гео урона. Еще бонус гео урона. Восстановление энергии и ХП. Защита, восстановление энергии, мастерство стихии. Сколько мне еще? Мне еще 2 надо. Еще бонус гео урона. ХП и крит шанс. Не, ну, на самом деле его можно было бы оставить Чунли. Гидроурон. Восстановление ХП. Защиты много. Сила. Таки, стоп. Стоп, можно больше 9 кидать? А в чем смысл? Конечно же, защита, гидроурон с восстановлением энергии. ХП с восстановлением энергии и крит урона. Вот это вот неплохая штука. Еще раз. Какой полный эффект? Увеличивает урон взрыва стихии на величину, равную 20% от значения восстановления энергии. То есть, если бы у меня был 200 восстановлен, он бы увеличил мне урон на 50%. Интересно. О, сила атаки. Критическое попадание. Надо будет потом пересобрать.
Maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it.
Растите большими. Ну что ж, чатик помер, но так тут никого нету практически. Тем более мне надо заканчивать. Мы закончили первую арку сюжета. На следующую, наверное, тоже уйдет примерно 2-3 стрима. И потом можно будет заниматься коопом и исследовать территории. И вляпываться во всякие квесты. Во всякие сайд-квесты. А на этом мы сегодня заканчиваем. Стрим был более чем длинным. Угу. Что ж. Да, действительно. Я начинаю заканчивать стрим, все так сразу приходят. Да. Это было эпично. Спасибо, что были. Спасибо, что пришли. Это было много. Это было интересно. Я продолжу делать всякие другие квесты на других аккаунтах. Вероятнее всего, завтра мы даже сможем еще раз помолиться, потому что мне там вроде не так много круток осталось накопить. Я лучше верну предыдущую превьюшку. Нам больше по теме подходит. Все. Спасибо, что были. Спасибо, что пришли. Жду вас завтра, как обычно, в 6 по Москве. Продолжаем делать сюжет. Всем хорошего вечера, хорошего завтра.